Alright, so, another really random topic. I had these a lot. I just wanted to talk about one specific case that really just tells me, and like, this is just like my own personal thing. I'm not trying to force like any beliefs on anybody, but this is like one of the really, insane cases that I've seen that really just sealed my faith in like spirituality and like a higher being and things like that. Like how when people die, they're able to send messages and like clues, to make their presence known, basically. So this, if you don't know the entire Chris Watts case, there's an entire documentary on Netflix you can watch right now. But I personally I got all of my information on this case from YouTube. Basically, for those who don't know, Chris Watts, just like sum it up for this video, he killed his pregnant wife and his 2 little girls, unfortunately. This clip right here, I'm about to show you right now, this is after the fact. So, the wife's, which her name is Shannon, her friend had called the police and said that her friend was answering the phone. She didn't know where she was. So this is that day. This is the day of when the police are coming over, and right now they're at the neighbor's house because the neighbor has like a surveillance video. So like he would have been able to see like if Shannon would have left the house or not. But in this video, Chris is going to be visibly nervous because he killed his wife. He parked his truck in the garage and stored their bodies in the trunk. And that's ultimately. And he drove off to an oil field where he dumped his 2 children in oil tanks, crude oil that decomposes the human body like really fast. And then he buried his wife like a few miles away. So that's the situation what happened to him with his family. But not to even get into like the entirety of the case, I just wanted to pinpoint. I said all that to say that so you have like an idea, right, of what happened, because what this video is about to show you is really fucking it's like really fucking creepy, really fucking scary. Just to reiterate, this man, Chris Watts, buried his 2 little daughters in crude oil tanks, 20 feet deep oil tanks, and he buried his wife miles away in the dirt nearby in a shallow grave. Now watch this commercial that pops up. In this video, he's pretending that he has no idea what was taking place. Like he's pretending that he has no idea where his wife went, and she just up and left, disappeared. In reality, we all know that he killed his family. So right now, the cop, which is this video, is his body camera, and the friend has no idea that Chris did it, but they are very suspicious of him because in this video he will be fidgeting and just acting super unnormal and super suspicious as if he's actually guilty. But just watch this commercial. This little commercial that pops up, this is from American Horror Story, by the way. It's super eerie.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
And I didn't really hold on to this. Shannon was pregnant. She was 15 weeks pregnant. Now this baby looks what? About to be 15 weeks pregnant? Chris Watts did not just kill 3 people. He killed 4. Because Shannon had a baby. And the baby was Nico. She was about to have. So he killed Shannon, Nico, and his 2 baby girls, Celeste and Bella. Now I have no doubt in my heart that this is Nico trying to communicate, like Nico's spirit trying to communicate. I know this might be like a little, this might be like kind of conflicting with some pro-life or pro-choicers because I know people don't believe that babies in the womb don't have souls or anything, but I do believe that. But not to get into in politics, this is not political, this is spiritual right now. Alright. I do believe this is baby Nico trying to give a sign, And this next part, you can see the explosion, the hourglass, time. Chris is running out of time. Chris did not have any time. And I just want to really hone on the fact that Shannon had amazing friends. Because there's a lot of people who, if they went missing, nobody might have noticed until maybe days later. It wasn't even the morning later of when Shannon died that her friend had called the police. Chris had no time to hide their bodies. Or not, well, he did hide the body. Oh, excuse me. He had no time to hide the evidence. He had no time to hide her phone. Or anything, or any of the, children's belongings that would have, helped his case, basically. Because, there's another video footage of the officers in the house, and they're I believe Shannon's friend, she was like, how come the baby's blankets are here? They don't go anywhere without it. So that may have been an item, if Chris had more time, that if he would have hid or gotten rid of that crucial evidence as well. Because I'm sure Shannon's friend knows that, everything. They've been best friends for, the documentary said, about 4 years. I think that's pretty long enough to know. The explosion. If you look at the pictures online, you can look up for yourself. But that kind of resembles the location of where they were buried. A vacant field, The explosion represents what I believe to be the death of them. The destruction of a family. And in the flames, we see a woman with a gas mask. Now, when you watch the full commercial of the American Horror Story, and I believe it's season 8, where this commercial is from, you can't see on the TV because of his finder is popped up. But if you watch the full commercial, you will see that this is a woman with a gas mask on, and she is buried. It looks like she's buried in a grave. There's dirt all around her. I feel like that represents a Shannon, And as you can see, there's oil. Let me go back. There's oil protruding out of her mask. And that transitioned into a skull. Let me just go back here. It was so fast. I picked up the car full of ear trim. Did I miss it? No.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
She's pregnant as well. How far along?
And he says that, because obviously he has to try to sound like he's not guilty or whatever. But as you can see, that transitions into some type of oil, skull and an oil. Remember what I said about the crude oil? Crude oil decays the body really fast. I feel like the skull is a representation of the girls and the crude oil. When the after this case was said and done, and the police were retrieving Bella and Celeste's his baby girl's bodies from the oil tanks, the crude oil tanks, their skin was slipping off, and it was reported that they were barely recognizable. The human body does not do well in crude oil. I do believe this skull represents the girls, and the hands reaching out, grabbing onto the oil. It's just too much to think about. This entire commercial just fits perfectly, and I've watched the full commercial. There are more scenes after this one, after the when the hands come up and grab the skull. But those other bits of the commercial doesn't apply to this case. Like the very next scene after the skull was getting dragged down into the oil, there was like this big creepy hand slicing open like an onion or something, like a whole bunch of things came out. So that was like that entire thing, like after the skull bit, was totally irrelevant to this case. That you couldn't apply it to this case or anything. So the reason I say that is because the time of when the commercial ended on his TV is so eerie. It's like they were showing you what you needed to see. They didn't show you the whole thing. They showed you what they needed to see, and it cut off so perfectly at the end of the hands grabbing the skull. It was like, I mean, to me that's just so crazy. It's so insane to me. Like, if you just think about the entire case, like, everything falls into place with this commercial. Like, everything falls into place. Shannon's pregnancy.
She's pregnant as well. How far along?
Like, the explosion in the open field. The woman being buried, the oil, the skulls, and the hands. And I remember hearing in the case, when the police were taking their bodies out of the oil field, like, their skin was degloved and it was slipping off of their hands, the little baby girls. So I don't know, like, this is really creepy, this is really eerie, and I believe this is a sign. I believe this is Shannon and her baby girls and Nico saying, you're not getting away with this. They wanted him to know. And I'm not saying that, like, people have to believe in this, but like, have been reports of people saying, like, whenever someone they cared about die, they receive signs. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I mean, like, it is a coincidence, but it is a planned coincidence. This doesn't just happen out of nowhere. And you know what? I genuinely wish Chris would have turned around and watched the full commercial, so he could know. So he could just really know. He stopped watching after the pregnancy bit, but I just wish he would have continued to watch just to see. But yeah, that's really it for this one. It was just really creepy how, like, everything just fell into place. It was almost like clockwork. And I know, like, well, for me, in my heart, I feel like I know this was the girls and Nico. They've received their justice. Hopefully somewhere there is an afterlife that they're together, happy. But yeah, that's all I want to say on this one. So if you haven't watched the full case, remember, it's on Netflix. The documentary is called American Murders: The Family Next Door. It should be on the new releases, I believe. But yeah, that's all. Just wanted to bring that up, show that. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.